Okay, let's start. Let's start. We know as a business analyst, our focus is on the requirements of the project. We are preparing requirement models, requirement documents, requirement visuals, and we also track the progress of the requirements on the project. So this is our job. So requirements is our area of focus. What is a requirement? A requirement is a goal which a user of the software or end user of the software would like to accomplish through this software or this application or this app. So what could be an example? Say, for example, if you are an account holder for a savings bank, for a bank account, what could be a requirement or a goal for you if you are to use the ATM machine? What could be that requirement?
Money can be withdrawn.
Withdraw cash. So you can withdraw the cash from the ATM. What could be some other requirement from the ATM?
Deposit cash.
Deposit, some, you see, in ATMs there is also a facility for depositing cash, though I have not deposited cash anytime earlier, but still I know this facility is there, depositing cash. In fact, you can even transfer money from one account to another account. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let us say you are a student of a e-learning system. If you are a student who is enrolled in an e-learning software, then what could be the requirement for what you may think from an e-learning software?
I can access all the videos everywhere at any point of time.
Okay, you can access the course, number one. You can enroll in a new course. Once you complete the course, you should be awarded a certificate. Am I correct? Are you with us? What could be some other requirement? Now we need to think in terms of requirements. And our focus is basically a software application or a software system or an app. So we may be using these words interchangeably. So requirements. In simple words, requirements are goals which end users or users of the software accomplish through the system.
And what is the difference between user and end user?
Difference between user and end user. You see, for now, I can explain, or you see, so because I will satisfy your curiosity. End users, let us say there is a video game or a video game console. Now this video game console is prepared keeping in mind teenagers who are of age, let's say, in 12 or 13 to 19, since I have used the word teenager. So teenagers are the end users, but no one stops their parents to use that video game console also. So this is a slight difference between a definition of an end user and a user.
Parents are the user.
Yes. Having said that, please understand, sometimes we have to be particular about these definitions. Sometimes we are a bit lenient. So these definitions are not provided somewhere in dictionary or they are not cast in stone. So depending upon the situation, we will.
No, there is one question in the interview, like how many types of users?
So I have told you two types of users. As we will move forward, you will learn more. So far, this is okay. Now our focus is on types of requirements. So these are some types of requirements which you could come across. Enterprise requirement, business requirement, solution requirement, functional requirement, non-functional requirement, system requirement, and transition requirement. We are in the business of communication. So words are important. So we need to have a clarity of what all these words are. So let us start with enterprise requirements. So what is an enterprise? Enterprise is basically the organization or the client organization or the end organization for which this software is being made or developed, or where this software is going to be utilized. It is not necessary that this software will be utilized in all the departments of this enterprise. Let us say if there is a human resource software which calculates payroll, so typically the users or employees of the human resource function will utilize that. Some other employees in some other department may not have access to the payroll compute facility. They may only receive pay slips, say for example in their email, or in their they can access the pay slip in their self-service portal. So having defined what is an enterprise, let us focus on enterprise requirement. So enterprise requirements are high level or strategic goals. So when I say high level or strategic goals, typically these are long-term goals, number one. Typically these are goals which an enterprise will achieve, let's say over a period of next 3 to 5 years, something like this, that we want to become number one bank in South India, or we would like to be among the top 3 players in the banking industry, and we would like to be the most profitable bank. So these are large level goals. A retail company, yet another goal. A retail company wants to expand its online presence to increase market share by 20% in the next few years. Now this is an enterprise requirement. There are two things. They want to increase their market share by 20%. And number two, how they would like to do it? They would like to do it by increasing their online presence. So how can one company increase its online presence? What comes to your mind? What could be an example? Say, I am a manufacturer of, say, ceiling fans. My company is a manufacturer of ceiling fans. If I would like to increase my online presence, I can be quite present, and I can list my products on a e-learning portal like Amazon. Will that increase my online presence? Yes. And why only Amazon? Today even e-commerce portals like Blinkit are also selling electronic items, electrical items, etc. So this is one way. Yet another way could be to have a e-learning portal and an e-commerce portal of my own company. So here they have an enterprise requirement. They also have a method that how are we going to do this? By having an online presence. Now, as a business analyst who is into software implementation, we are not going to challenge this or that. We have been given a target. There is a project in which we have a role to play. Now, we will not suggest at this moment. You cannot suggest. You are not expected, being a business analyst of IT, you are not expected to suggest that why are you focusing to increase your market share in India by 20%? Why don't you open a new front in, say, Vietnam? So the context is that now the online presence is to be established. Via this online presence, we will have a larger market share. So this is a enterprise requirement. Now, what is a business requirement? Now, to achieve this enterprise requirement, different departments of this enterprise, different business units of this enterprise have to develop some business capability. If they do not develop this business capability, this enterprise requirement will not be met. So specific needs of the business that must be met to achieve enterprise requirements. Specific needs of the business. So what could be a specific need? Let us say if we are to be a prominent seller of electric fans on Amazon portal, what we may do, we may hire people from a company called, say, there is a company, you would have heard the name Atomberg.
Yes.
So Atomberg fans, as they position that they are energy efficient fans, and Atomberg is a primary seller on e-commerce portals only. In fact, they derive good revenue from Amazon. So since my company is also in a similar or same space, and I also want to establish, achieve good revenue from Amazon and e-commerce, instead of developing manpower from within, I may hire a category manager from Atomberg. I may hire some people from their IT team to learn the ropes if I was to establish my own. So, but this is only one thing. Hiring manpower is only one thing. If we are to establish our e-commerce portal, we may also need data centers. So, all what is required in terms of business and business capability to achieve my business, achieve my enterprise requirements are business requirements. So far, we are yet to come up to the level of software or solution or app. Being an IT business analyst or being a student of IT business analysis, our focus is the solution. And when I say the solution, I have in my mind software solution or an enterprise software or a software app which should help this business requirement capability to be developed, enterprise requirement to be met. So where we started from the enterprise requirement. From that enterprise requirement, we have identified chunks of business requirement. And now from this business requirement, we will have to design a solution. And if that solution has got an IT component, then that solution will have functional, non-functional, system and transition requirements. I will explain. Solution requirement. Solution requirement is detailed description of the characteristics of the system that meets the business requirements. Now, just imagine that this system requires, we would like to have an e-commerce system on its own. Now this e-commerce system will require to sell electric fans on internet. Now this e-commerce system will require registration, this e-com of the prospective customer. This e-commerce system will also require modules for payment. This e-commerce system will also update inventory which is connected with our warehouse. This e-commerce system will also be integrated with the logistics system which will basically pick inventory from our warehouse and deliver to the customer. So all this is part of the solution requirement. So you can see the e-commerce platform must support multiple payment methods. So this is one of the many solution requirements. So this is what we want from the solution. Because let's say if I'm a customer, I'm happy paying by credit card, but you may not have a credit card. You may require payment by UPI. Okay, so different customers, different requirements, different situations, different requirements. We may not be able to address all of them, but depending upon our scope and our solution, we will identify those requirements and we will incorporate it in our solution. So far, so good. We started with enterprise requirements. Then multiple business requirements. Then for these business requirements, if we design a solution, then this solution will have its functional, non-functional requirements, etc. Just a minute. Okay, moving ahead. Functional requirement. Now we have come up to the level of the software system. Specific behaviors or functions of the system are functional requirement. I take you back to the ATM machine example. From the ATM machine example, enterprise requirement could be that we would like to minimize the load of our banking staff, so that the banking staff is free to do some other things. Otherwise, if you do not provide an ATM machine, if I need some cash, I have to go to the branch and take out that cash, and some branch teller has to help me. This is one thing. My enterprise requirement could be basically self-service or convenient 24/7 banking. So all these are large goals. For these large goals, we need capabilities. So for that capability, we have designed a solution which is a ATM machine. Now this ATM machine will have its functional requirements, non-functional requirements, system requirements, and transition requirements. Similarly here, as a business analyst, our focus is on functional requirements of the software many a times. Goals which users or end users can accomplish by utilizing the software. So we need to think in terms of user goals and, as we will learn shortly, user roles. Role and goal. If we can identify all the goals, the functionality and features of our software is clear. Then all what we need to do is to prepare it in form of a good document or a good package so that it can be communicated well to our stakeholders. Example, the e-commerce platform must allow users to create account, browse products, add items to cart, and complete purchases. Now this is not one requirement. These are multiple functionalities. No point clubbing all of them together. If I make a purchase on the e-learning, or on the e-commerce portal, when I do the purchase, there are so many functionalities which are required. So to add, and it is not one requirement, it is, multiple requirements. And we need to think in terms of users, end users, and their requirements. Okay, so this is a functional requirement. Now what is a non-functional requirement? When you open, say for example, Amazon e-commerce portal or Flipkart e-commerce portal, are you worried that when I will open this portal or try to access this portal this time, whether it will be available or not? Are you worried? Normally not. Most of the times not. I am never worried. What is the reason? Because these are what are known as highly available systems. What does this mean, highly available system? The system is available almost all the time. Many systems require high availability. When you go to a bank and for some reason, if the bank teller or bank manager tells you that the system is slow or is down, we feel helpless. And we expect that during banking hours, these systems should work. So non-functional requirements are the criteria to judge the operation of the system, not the specific behavior or a specific functionality. So one non-functional requirement is what is known as availability. Will you agree that when WhatsApp goes down, it becomes a news? National news and international news. That
Instagram, WhatsApp, there are bugs recently in the WhatsApp, like someone stories is visible to someone's name.
yeah. So that is yet another requirement, that is basically privacy. So this is availability. Similarly, there is a non-functional requirement called reliability. Reliability. When you see some banking transactions are done in your savings bank account, all those computations are invariably correct. So these systems are, as you can say, reliable systems, reliable in terms of computation. So reliability, availability, then security. I should not have access to your account details, so that is security. So for now, just remember, non-functional requirements can be remembered with the acronym RAMSS, and you can also add SAP here. I will tell you this. R stands for reliability, A for availability, M for maintainability, S for safety, S for security, and then scalability, accessibility, and privacy. You can remember these words. I can repeat again. Reliability, availability, maintainability, safety, security, scalability, accessibility, and privacy. I will explain accessibility a bit. Accessibility is also important. There are, you see, not all users, ये थोड़ा सा ये अगर थोड़ा सा फ्रेजाइल है, ये तो हिलने लगता है मेरा कैमरा, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि आप लोगों के लिए रिसोर्सेज इसी से मिलेंगे. हाँ, तो आई विल रिपीट. रिलायबिलिटी, अवेलेबिलिटी, मेंटेनेबिलिटी, सेफ्टी, सिक्योरिटी, स्केलेबिलिटी, एक्सेसिबिलिटी, प्राइवेसी. तो इसका क्या मतलब है? Accessibility, we were talking about accessibility. You see, not all end users are alike. We typically think we are same, but please understand that this planet is of 7 billion people, 7 billion and more and counting. So when Google provides you a method that you can basically do web browsing via a voice command, this is a feature of accessibility. Someone who cannot type can speak. For many situations, you see, softwares can even speak. So if you cannot see, you can hear. So all this is accessibility. Reliability, availability, maintainability, safety, security, scalability, accessibility, privacy. So these are non-functional requirements. System requirements. Now we are dealing with a software system. Software system has got functional requirements and non-functional requirements. But then there are certain system requirements also. For example, this system, you may require a Oracle database to hold your information. Now this Oracle database or MS SQL Server database will also have its own specifications. Whether it is running on Oracle 19i or Oracle 18g, or whether you require a backup server or not. For some cases, you see, you may not need a backup server. For some other cases, you may need not only a backup server, but even a disaster recovery site. So all these are system requirements. So what is the specification of the hardware on which this software will be run? This is one thing. So all this is system requirement. And system requirement also involves integration of your system with other systems. The e-commerce platform must integrate with the company's inventory management system to update its stock levels in real time. So this is system requirement. So when you will think of requirements, you have to think in terms of functional requirement, non-functional requirement, system requirement. And starting with enterprise requirement, now you do not have control over enterprise requirement. Basis those enterprise requirement, business requirements are identified. You may or may not be involved in identifying those business requirements. Your immediate focus is functional requirements. Then architect of the system or software designer designs how much non-functional requirements are we going to address. Then and to cater to non-functional and functional requirements, we have to design a software system. So these are system requirements. So to repeat, enterprise requirements are high-level needs of the organization that aligns with the strategic goals. So the bank aims to become one of the top 5 retail banking players in India within next 10 years. Let's say some bank has got a banking license, new license. New banks come up sometimes. Not every day, but at least one bank a year or one bank in 2 years, depending upon the RBI policy. So specific needs of that business. So business requirement for that will be specific needs. Now we focus on business requirement. Specific needs of the business that must be met to achieve the enterprise requirement. We want to become the number 1 banking player. Now the bank needs to attract at least 10 million new customers every first 5 years. Now how do you attract so many new customers? Solution requirement. Detailed description or characteristic of a solution that meets the business requirement. So this means the bank must develop a robust digital banking platform with mobile and internet banking. So this is not the only thing. They also need to do marketing. But without a robust banking platform and a mobile internet banking platform, they won't be able to support this large number of customers. And even if customers come, they will go back. Functional requirement. So we were here, now we move on to functional requirement. Specific behaviors or functions of the system. The platform must allow customers to open accounts. Now what does this mean? Self-opening of account. Self-KYC, video KYC, something like that. Transfer funds, pay bills, apply for loans. So today banking is not only, you see, opening a bank account and transferring money. So many other operations are also available. Non-functional requirement. Criteria that judge the operation of the system. The platform must ensure data security, comply with RBI regulations, must have an uptime of 99.9%. System requirement. Detailed specifications of the system components and their interactions. Say for example, the platform must integrate with the core banking system, bank's core banking system, CRM, and third-party gateways. So this is how we have different requirements to be focused upon. Then there is transition requirement. Sometimes when we transition from old system, from the new system, or from old software to the new software, we have to have transition requirements. Transition requirements are temporary capability or conditions or activities needed to transition from the current state to the desired future state. So these are temporary requirements while we transit from one state to another state. Data migration. Let us say there is an old software, and from that old software we are moving to new software, then data has to be migrated. You are involved in data migration?
Yes, like Oracle 13G to 19C, then 19C to directly OCI upgrade.
So Oracle 13C to 19C,
and then again 19C to OCI upgrade.
So 19C to OCI upgrade.
Yes.
Okay.
In DB and in software platforms like recently our applications available on OCP.
Okay.
Now now applications are transferred to OCI.
OCI. Okay. So what is OCP and what is OCI?
Like I don't know in technical terms. OCP is OpenShift Container.
Okay.
And and OCI I am not aware.
So a bit of, you see, technical. Sometimes though we may have a techno-functional role, but we need to be technically aware also, at least for our project. So have some kind of investigative attitude or investigative behavior. Okay, change management. So training, while we move on to new system, we may have to train or educate the users. Change management, managing the impact of changes on the organization. Deployment, activities related to rollout of new systems. So all these are transition requirements.
And mostly, if application is already available and business wants to add new feature or
Yeah.
add some enhancement in the application, so at that time we need transition requirements.
You see, for a normal feature addition, for a regular, you see, systems are never static. So we keep on adding new functionalities, we keep on adding new features. That's our regular, you see, that is law of nature, that is law of life. For that, you see, even if there are some transition activities, we may not bother. Small changes are there all the time, and we have to manage all of them. Having said that, if there are some big changes, then we need to focus on these transition requirements in a big way. Interlinkages. So enterprise requirements drive the overall direction or goals of the software. So my enterprise requirement is to say, for example, to be present on e-commerce portals and have my own e-commerce portal. Business requirements are derived from enterprise requirements. Solution requirements outline the specific solution needed to meet the business requirement. As a business analyst, you will be focusing on solution, functional, non-functional, and system requirements the most. And at times, you have to straddle up also. Functional requirements detail the specific functions that the solution must perform. Non-functional requirements specify the quality attributes of the solution. System requirements provide technical details necessary to implement the solution. So, you wanted to say something?
Who will write the system requirements in the document?
Who will write the, you see, so there is a role that of a software designer or a software architect. The client will tell, say for example, the client may tell that at a time there will be 10,000 users who may be accessing the software. So business analyst will typically receive this information. The client will tell, but how the software is going to handle 10,000 users at a time, this kind of capacity planning and this kind of calculation, all this will be done by software designer and software architect.
Then there is two documents, right?
Two
documents of functional requirements and.
You see, we can have all this a functional requirement document separate and a system requirement document separate, or we can have a single document which may have a specific area on functional requirements, yet another area on system requirements. So how we compile them is one thing, what we name them is one thing, but at least two specific set of experts will be required to identify. Okay. So this is the brief on types of requirements. As a business analyst, your focus is on requirements of the project and specifically functional requirements. But since you are part of an IT project, you need to be aware of all the requirements, where they originate from and where they lead to. So far so good? ठीक है, तो अभी हमने एक एरिया कवर कर लिया है जो कि है टाइप्स ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट्स.